The PlayStation Store is running its gigantic summer sale right now, and I want to go through some of the deals that are above the price of $10. We're going to do a video of games under $10, games under $5, all that good stuff. Let me also know if you guys want me to cover some games that I haven't even played. I'll literally go and buy a super cheap game that I've never played, and maybe we could do a review or something like that. If you guys would be interested in something like that, let me know in the comment section down below, because there's a plethora of games and I haven't played everything that's on sale. There's like 1,200 items that are on sale, some DLC and things like that, but we'll figure it out. I already have a bunch of deals to cover in this video. We're going to try to get through it quickly because this is more than 10 deals, so let's just get right into it. First of all, want to give a shout to the Shadow Warrior collection, which is $14.99, includes Shadow Warrior and Shadow Warrior 2. Shadow Warrior 3 is in development right now, so not a bad time to check these games out. Fast-paced, high-octane, action-oriented title. Shadow Warrior 2 definitely better than Shadow Warrior 1, but Shadow Warrior 1 is pretty good in its own right. Shadow Warrior 2 just ups the ante a little bit. A lot of slicing, a lot of shooting, all that good stuff. Definitely do go check that out. 15 bucks, I think, is a great price for that. Gravity Rush 2 is on sale for $11.99. Gravity Rush 1 is also on sale for like $8.99, I believe, but Gravity Rush is a game that I am always going to sing its praises. It's unfortunate that we'll probably never see a Gravity Rush 3, but who knows, crazier things have happened. Gravity Rush 2 is excellent from a content standpoint. It's great. Characters are great. Art style is obviously absolutely gorgeous, has a good bit of things to do, and for $12, I think it's a pretty good buy. Now, it's not the cheapest this game has been. It has been down, I believe, to $8 before, maybe even $6, but $11.99 I still think is a good price and well worth a mention, especially if you've been eyeing it for a while. Next up, Dark Souls 3, $14.99. It's Dark Souls. You guys know what you're getting into here. I thought Dark Souls 3 was very good. Maybe even my favorite of the Souls games. I really enjoyed my time with Dark Souls 3, and I'm not a big Souls guy. Like, I like Souls. I appreciate what they offer. Obviously, very challenging games, but very rewarding at the same time. Challenging even at this stage of the game. Maybe some people will disagree with me on that. Like, a lot of people don't find Souls that difficult at all, maybe because they've mastered it. But for a bum like me, it's kind of difficult still to this day. You know, I don't spend too much time. I usually beat these games once and then I move on. But Dark Souls 3, from a visual standpoint, boss fights, music, scenery, that is all really well done. And I believe $15 has been the cheapest we've seen it. I mean, the MSRP is still $60 for this on the PlayStation Store. And bear in mind, this came out in 2016, I believe, so it's been quite a while. Alright, next up we have Middle-earth Shadow of War Definitive Edition. This is 80% off for $11.99. Shadow of War is a really good game. Improves upon Shadow of Mordor, which, by the way, is also on sale. That one is $5. This Definitive Edition includes a lot of all the downloadable content, actually. A bunch of story expansions, so that's quite nice as well. From a content standpoint, it's already got a good bit of content. Combat system is great. Visuals are good. Story is good. Just a well-rounded open-world action-adventure title. 12 bucks is a good buy on this one. Next up, we have Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is 65% off for $13.99. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a very good game, albeit, in my opinion, not as good as Rise of the Tomb Raider, because from a narrative standpoint, it really does fumble a little bit. Gameplay is still really good, and the Definitive Edition is the version to buy because it does include all of the DLC content, which there was a lot of. That was my problem with SOTR going into the release of this game, given that Square Enix outlined their 7-month DLC plan before the game was even out, and I was like, alright, that's kind of lame, but SOTR at this point for $14 to get all that additional content, I think it's a good buy. Go ahead and give that a look. Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, 50% off for $17.49. I swear, whenever I talk about Final Fantasy 15 and I kind of crap on it, some of you guys just come at me. Dude, the Final Fantasy 15 story was not very good. The Royal Edition does make it a lot better. Let's get that through. It includes the DLC, which... the DLC was really weirdly done, but nevertheless, the fact that it's here in the Royal Edition, that is very good. The only thing you're missing is Episode Arden, which I believe is on sale as well, but yeah, FF15 still, from a visual standpoint, is excellent. The gameplay, I think, is great. Content-wise, it's good. The visuals are absolutely stunning, and remember, on the PlayStation 5, it runs really, really well, so that is an element to it as well. I thought there was a lot of potential from a narrative standpoint. They kind of faltered from that standpoint, but there's still definitely more to like than dislike about FF15, and I think for $17.49, it is a pretty good buy. Next up, if you want a game with a good story, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is right up your alley. $26.99 for this, 55% off. Done by Vanillaware. If you guys know them, you know that they're known for their excellent art style, and this is that holds true in 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim as well. Gameplay's a little different than your typical Vanillaware title, but still has 2D side-scrolling elements as well, and again, from a character standpoint and a story standpoint, top-notch game. One game that I imagine is going to go under the radar for quite a while, but definitely one that if you're a fan of Japanese RPGs, Japanese titles in general, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim should definitely be right up your alley. Go ahead and check that out. Next up, Red Dead Redemption 2, 59% off for $24.59. I do believe this is a brand new low for Red Dead Redemption 2, also available on PlayStation Now. Look, Red Dead Online, not my cup of tea, not very good, but the single-player campaign of Red Dead Redemption 2 is absolutely tremendous. You got an emotional narrative with great characters, a ton of content, and the attention to detail in Red Dead Redemption 2 is just second to none. I wish Rockstar would put less emphasis on the online component and try to churn out more single-player games that are incredibly compelling, because when they put the equity and the resources behind crafting a big-budget single-player experience, man, with the RDR2, they absolutely delivered. They delivered with GTA 5 as well from a single-player standpoint, but RDR2, in my opinion, is just tremendous. $24.59 is a great pickup. On the MMO front, Final Fantasy XIV Online Complete Edition absolutely deserves a recommendation. Obviously, in the news right now, a lot of streamers are playing it, so not a bad time to check it out. FF14 is also upgraded for the PlayStation 5. It works well on a controller, and visually and performance-wise, fantastic on PS5. Highly recommended. Remember, there is a free trial, and that'll take you through A Realm Reborn and Heaven's Word, so if you want to try that out first, feel free. But getting Stormblood and Shadowbringers is also excellent. A lot of content for your money, so go ahead and buy that if you're looking for an MMO to play. Next up, Dying Light the Following Enhanced Edition, $14.99. Great open world action adventure game, parkour elements, visually looks really good. Obviously, Dying Light 2 is right around the corner. Kind of a little bit skeptical on that game given the delays and things like that, but the gameplay we've seen of that has looked pretty good, and Dying Light 1 was really good. It was one of the early titles of this, or the past generation, the PS4 and X1 generation, so it kind of gets forgotten about a little bit, but great game, and would give that a strong recommendation, especially at a $15 price point. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed the Ezio Collection. You guys know how I feel about the old school Assassin's Creed titles, much better, in my opinion, than the recent stuff, but Ezio's trilogy was very good. Brotherhood is a little bit easy. I mean, Assassin's Creed games in general are relatively easy, but Brotherhood was like way too easy. But AC2 is awesome, still holds up pretty well. Brotherhood is great, and Revelations, while I wasn't as high on it as the other two games, it was still pretty darn good, and $12 for all three of the games is a really good deal. A lot of trophies to get as well there, so that's definitely nice. Next up, we have Disco Elysium, the final cut, which is 40% off for $23.99. I've talked about Disco Elysium a bit on this channel. I initially played it on PC when it originally came out, and it is just a fantastic game with a lot of replayability and an incredible story. If you want a narrative-driven game with a mature story, Disco Elysium is an absolute must-buy. I feel like this game doesn't get the amount of notoriety and buzz of like some of the Telltale games, but it is right up there, or even better from a story standpoint. It is just a great game. From a critical reception, it was absolutely at that level. It got really good reviews, but I just don't hear enough people talking about it, and that's a shame because it's a great game, and even though it's a little bit pricier at $24, again, good bit of content here with a lengthy playthrough, and you have a good bit of replayability as well. $24 is a great pickup for Disco Elysium, which is still a relatively recent release. It came out, yeah, earlier this year, so definitely go and buy that. And lastly, I do want to give a shout out to Batman the Arkham Collection, which is $11.99 for Plus subscribers, $14.99 for non-Plus subscribers. You get Batman, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. All three games are really good. Arkham City is my favorite of the three, but you can't go wrong with any of them. I just thought Arkham City was a really great game. Arkham Knight was good as well, and Arkham Asylum still holds up pretty well. The combat is obviously great, and you see a lot of games these days adopting the combat system from Batman Arkham. I don't know if Batman tried to adopt it from something else in the past, but Batman Arkham was the first time I really noticed this distinct combat style, and it's been, again, adopted by a lot of games, but it's a great combat system, and the games are great from a story standpoint as well, and a lot of content in Arkham Knight and Arkham City, so definitely go and pick that up, especially if you've never played the Arkham games. Guys, gotta get up to speed with Batman Arkham, especially, like, thinking about it, Arkham Asylum came out all the way back in 2009, so a younger generation of gamers, they probably have not played Arkham Asylum or Arkham City. Arkham City, I believe, was 2011, so you're talking about a decade ago. God, I'm aging myself. I remember buying Arkham City day one, but nonetheless, Arkham Collection for $12 if you're a Plus subscriber, great buy here. And that's going to wrap up this one. Again, a ton of great deals that are available right now. We're going to try to cover a lot of them. I was literally going through the PlayStation Store for like an hour today, just looking through everything, and my luck would have it, at the second I wanted to check the PlayStation Store earlier today, the PlayStation Store was down, at least their webpage was, so that was a little bit of a bummer, but nonetheless, that's going to wrap up this one. Again, if you guys have any recommendations for future deals videos, what you want to see me cover, let me know in the comments section down below. That's going to wrap it up for me. I'm out. Have a great one, guys. Peace.